Hi everyone, my name's Em. Thank you for dropping by my channel, My Life Planned. This is just my second video, so thank you for being here. Whether it's your first time or you've come back after seeing my first video, I do really appreciate it, and I'm definitely still finding my feet with things. So, thank you for all of the encouragement and support and for being patient while I still figure all of this out. So today I am sharing my Laurel Denise Rose planner. It used to be called the Project Planner, and then it was called the 4-column planner, I think. And yeah, now it's the Rose. All of the information about the new names for everything is on the Laurel Denise website. I am using this to map out, this is like dust everywhere here, to map out the 12-week year. So I read the 12-week year, I think at the end of last year, and I did it once this year. It's by Brian P. Moran, I think that's how you say it. And it's kind of looking at how much can you achieve in 12 weeks as opposed to 12 months, and you can be surprised. So let's get into it. I have got, and this planner is giant, so it's really not going to be possible to have everything in the one frame, but we'll figure it out. Okay, I've broken down my 12-week year into 6 kind of main areas, and obviously I'm going to be doing this for quarter 4, so I will be starting next week as my week 1, which will be the week that intersects September, the end of September and the start of October. So my first goal, I might move this down a little bit and see, if I can do it this way. So my overarching theme for my first goal is get healthy. So my kind of actionables and what I want to take away is I want to exercise 4 times a week, want to improve my fitness, be eating nourishing foods. I do want to lose some weight, but that's not my primary reason for this goal, but it would be good to support my health. I've lost about 10 kilos so far this year, which is maybe just over 20 pounds for my friends from America, maybe Canada. Does Canada also use the same system? I'm not sure. I'm rambling. And I really want a consistent sleep routine. Sometimes I'm just so bad at going to bed. I don't know if anyone can relate, but it's a bad habit. So for each of my goals, not each of them actually, for some of them, I've kind of written some affirmations and how I want to feel, and I'm starting this next week. So once I've figured out my starting weight, I'll be able to do my goal weight, and you can see I've just got some little circles there to kind of help track that weight loss goal. My second goal is to have a peaceful home. I'm in my little apartment. I've owned it, had a mortgage on it for, 10 or 11 years now. And my overarching kind of theme, big picture, is that my bedroom is a sanctuary, my home is purposeful and in order. I'm really good at saying not having any screens in the bedroom, but it's easy to kind of, dump my clothes there at the end of the day, which isn't super helpful. And it also just got quite cloudy outside, so hopefully the lighting is okay. And then for all of my goal areas, I've written a list of different places in my apartment to either declutter or deep clean. So I will still have a regular routine of all of my home tasks that I have to do regularly that aren't included here. These are kind of one-off things that I want to go through. And then again, I've got my affirmations at the bottom. And then my final goal on this page, which is my third area, is work and leadership. So I really want to be on top of things at work. I always am on top of things, but I would just like to be a little bit more. I feel like I am definitely a bit of a control freak when it comes to work. So we go I work in a school, we go calendar year here. I know every country is different. So we're currently moving into our 4th term. So I would like to really have all of my first term for next year mapped out as well. That is also dependent on things outside of my control. So I have to be accepting of that. But I've got my list. I really want to be regularly managing my inbox. I think I've got a better system to do that than I had earlier in the year. But I really want to have all my leadership stuff sorted and all of my curriculum and pedagogy mapped out as well. My 4th area is my budget. So I would like to save $10,000 in quarter 4. One of the things that will help me get there is I get paid fortnightly, and October is one of the 2 months a year where I get paid 3 times rather than twice. So that will be beneficial and will give me a bit of momentum to start off with. I'm generally pretty good at managing my budget, but some things can always be reined in. So I've got my savings goal, and then I've got some kind of routines that I follow to help get me there. So tracking my daily spending. I don't actually do this every day. I normally do it every few days or at the end of the week, but every day's tracking, every day's spending is always tracked. And then I do a weekly summary every Sunday, sometimes on a Monday. And then I close out my budget at the end of each month. So again, I've got, this is the only part of this page that I don't really love. These trackers, but whatever, can't change it. And I also want to get my taxes done. So goal 5 is what I'm doing right now. I've always, not always, but for the last few years, I've thought I would love to start a YouTube channel. I love watching YouTube videos, so why not start my own? This is a kind of low stakes goal. I don't have a lot of actionables for it. I just want to post at least once a week. Maybe sometimes it will be twice a week. I would just like to learn new things, learn some new skills, share what I love. So it's pretty, like I said, low stakes this one, but it's fun and it is really refreshing, especially as an old lady like myself, to learn something new. And then my final area, I have called it my best self. So it's really all about my kind of personal growth, personal development, like a spirituality a little bit, but not in a religious sense, more in a kind of knowing myself in a wisdom kind of way. So I've got my rhythms and routines to focus on. So mindset and reflection, spiritual and inner growth, and body-mind connection. I think that's actually better when it's mind-body connection, but whatever. And then my affirmation or my kind of vision statement at the end. I'm committed to showing up for myself daily, and I honor small steps as meaningful progress. Now, what you might have noticed is that I am really all in on the color coding for this 12-week year process. So I've got stickers, but really what started it was everything in my Laurel Denise pouch. So I've got my staples, just my pen and my tweezers. But I've got some of my favorite Tombow markers. I really like kind of just clean, neutral tones. And then Skosh Paper Co. Maybe it's Skosh in my head. I say that it's Skosh. They have stickers that are colour matched to the different Tombows, which is amazing. And they have a range of stickers that you can get in the matching Tombow colours and lots of other colours too. But let's have a look. So for each colour, I have this one, these dots, smaller little dots, these kind of rounded squares, larger circles. These dots are like the outer ring of a circle, and then these half circles. So I have it in 942, N89, 850, 800, N79 and 990. So that's kind of how I started with things, and it is also important to me to make sure that I don't forget what all my color coding is. So I've also written it down at the front of the planner. So I've got it here. This is a May Paper Co sticky note. So I've got my 6 Tombos here, and I've done a swatch of each one, written it on there because sometimes they look similar, especially the 850 and the 800, and I've written what each goal is as well. But then when I was trying to figure things out, I also thought, I wonder if there's any sticky notes or page flags that would match. So I looked through my stash today, the swatches down here, the Tombow markers again, and I found this set of Daiso page flags and realised that they all match so well. The pink is maybe like a little bit too dark, but whatever. You take your wins and your losses. And then I realised I have all of these sets of page flags. They're all transparent from Daiso. So I'm like in a really good situation with these sticky notes and the colour matching. So really, if you think we've got these, we've got the markers, and we've got the stickers. So we are pretty set in that regard. So how this planner layout works, I might show you November. You have your monthly calendar, and this was really originally called the project planner, I think, because there is so much space here in this layout. It's the biggest sized monthly boxes of the Laurel Denise planners, and then you can see why then I guess they changed the name to the 4-column planner, because there are 4 columns, so there's no weekly or daily pages, but you could use 1 column per week, which is what I am going to do, and then some habit tracking at the bottom. So let's have a look at October. I am going to use 1 column per week to reflect on my week, and then there is space for 5 different habits. I haven't decided what I'm going to put down here apart from one, which is to document my experience here in this planner, because let's be honest, it is fun and safe being in the planning stage, but the doing stage is not so easy. So it might seem silly to habit track like using my planner, but that is what I'm going to do. So here is my October page. I did white out the monthly calendars that are there. This is one of my favorite washies from the Coffee Monsters Co. I'm going to use this monthly page to document how I tackle this 12-week year. I am a teacher, so I'm on school holidays at the moment. So the first week will be easier to schedule in because I don't have so many, challenges or blockers getting in the way of trying to achieve these goals and work on them. So yeah, I think I'm going to document it as I go. Once I'm back at work, maybe I might need to map things out a little bit more. But I put a couple of things in here that are regular occurrences. I put in my weigh-in days. I really don't want to be obsessive about my weight loss goals. So just having a consistent day on Saturdays, and then on Sundays I've got my budget wrap up. That's generally when I track my spending for the week, and might do a separate video on that if that's helpful. And then I've put for the last day of the month to put in how much money I've saved and close out my budget. And these little dots, I've put in my paydays. And as I said, I'm very happy that there are 3 of them for this month. I've also added in some teeny tiny stickers showing each week. They are from the Sterling Ink undated sticker pack. I have found that they are my favorite date stickers. They pretty much go with any planner that you like. And then I've added in this insert. It's actually an insert for horizontal weekly planning, but you know, who says you can only use something for its intended purpose? Part of the 12-week year is, I think it's called a scorecard. You kind of keep track each week of how close you are getting to your goals. So I might just zoom in and we'll have a look. Okay, so I covered the little to do this week headings. I think that's what they were called, with another Coffee Monsters co-washi. I thought this one was pretty perfect for my goals. And again, back on the color coding. So for my get healthy goal, I've just got the things that I want to track each week. I really, don't want to get into that all or nothing mindset. So I want to be eating well and eating balanced meals most of the time, but not all the time. And I will be tracking my steps as well. And it's important to me also that I'm only weighing in once a week. I don't want to get into bad habits of stepping on the scales too many times. Goal 2, just want to declutter one space per week, and then just have my daily care tasks. So just everything around the house, just, normal housework, chores. Goal 3 for work and leadership, be on top of my inbox every work day, do a weekly reflection about how that's all going, not just my inbox, like the whole goal. And I want to block out a chunk of time each week to do 2026 stuff, and also be using my work planner. It's my most consistent planner. It's a Sterling Ink B5. It's a shame I can't show it, but really can't show anything that's in there. And for the budget, tracking my spending, doing my weekly wrap up once a week, and mindful spending, hopefully each day. I'm really good at not spending much money, but I'm definitely partial to a blowout. So I could be doing, I could be spending my money mindfully most days, but then, just have a day. And YouTube, just upload one video and then just kind of reflect on the week. Oh, there's like a truck reversing. That's so fun. So then goal 6, my best self, just to journal, meditate, and then I will still be using the Maxi Life system. So doing their weekly reflections and weekly actions. And then here at the bottom, I've used those stickers again, and I have put in, if it wants to focus, there we go. And I've put in like my tally. If I am going to tally it up, there's kind of 82 points that I can get. Because this planner, the Rose, is more of a project-based planner and it has a lot of cool extra pages. The page where I did like mapping out my goals, those graph, and there's also grid pages. Let's see, they're in the back of all of the Laurel Denise planners, but this one is not. You can get it as an insert as well. They're so great with their inserts. So this is how I want to kind of have a look at all of that tracking that I just showed. So how many times I want to be doing things. And again, I've got my color coding happening. There are 14 boxes, I think maybe because it could be used on a 2-week cycle, but I have decided to just do 12. I might put the dates in, not sure, we'll see how we go. And these are all the things, again, that I want to be tracking. And I haven't really decided how I'm going to populate this page, whether it's like a tick or a cross, and maybe use the dot markers, or am I writing, if I do my 4 workouts, am I writing the number 4 in this box, or am I doing 4 ticks, or am I just doing 1 tick if I meet that goal? So I'll figure that out as I go. And there is one page that I really haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it, which is this one. Oh, sorry. So it's like a big yearly spread, and it would be really great for mapping out a 12-week year, like if you did it for every quarter. But I'm just not quite there yet. So if you have any ideas for how to use this spread, I would absolutely welcome them. And this is the last part that I am using to kind of track all of this. These pop-in panels, or pips as they are abbreviated to. This one I'm using as a Kanban board. I have added in some stickers from Chrissy Ann Designs at the top to show tasks in progress and completed. The only recurring task that I've put here is just setting up my October, November and December budgets, but everything else are one-off tasks. So once I start them, you can see that I've done my October budget, and then I'm in process with a few of them, and everything else, once it's done, I'll pick it up and move it from column to column. It's not fully necessary, but I had the pip and I thought it would be good for maybe seeing some progress when I open my planner, because where I have put it is right here at the front. Again, thank you so much for being here, for helping me with this fun new YouTube project. I'm hoping that as I go through the 12-week year, I can check in, I don't know, once a week, once a fortnight, once a month, whatever. We'll see how it works, because I'm still learning all of this and figuring it out. And I've got quite a few different like inserts and pips from Laurel Denise as well. So if I find that I need, anything else to help with this system, I will definitely update. One of the things that I had considered is, for example, for the right-hand side, they have right-hand side calendar inserts. So if I'm feeling like it would be helpful to have my actual calendar in front of me, not just how I'm going to map things out, then, I might pop one there. It's really easy to just have my other planner open that I use for my scheduling, for my plans. But if I find it would be supportive to have it here, I will add that in. So even though I'm coming to the last quarter of this planner, I have ordered another rose for next year. I'm very, very excited for it. I am an affiliate with Laurel Denise, so we got a sneaky peek of everything that's coming this week, and I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll have my order before the launch, but I'm not sure that I will. But the launch is the 1st of October. So if you do decide that you want to pick up anything from Laurel Denise and you would like a discount, you can use my affiliate code. It's MyLifePlan10. I'll pop that in the comments, but no pressure at all. I would never ever just try and be doing a sales pitch for anything. But if you were going to order, always nice to have a discount. I find their planners are just so great for mapping stuff out, really big picture. And I've ordered a bunch of other layouts as well. So I'm looking forward to updating with how I go for this 12-week year. Again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.